What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson here for the Sports Arena, and the crew and I are going to keep it moving here. We are going to give you yet another division that we are going to break down. If you saw the show from Monday night, you already know that this crew, they pull no punches, they hold nothing back. And ladies and gentlemen, we got haters. So as Cat Williams says, we're going to let them do their job and hate on us because apparently we're doing something right. But let me go ahead and get the crew in here. First up, I'm going to do our girl, Miss Megan Price, 806 Sports and the Sip Off. Good evening, Megan. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. Appreciate it. Let me get my man Ty Ray from the Say What, Say It Again Sports Talk Show every Tuesday night, 8:30, Facebook Live. Can I say you guys are officially now a point of the 3-point conversion? Can I say that?
No, we're not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
Not yet. But it's in the works.
It's in the works. Yeah, it's in the works.
So next up, we got our man, Florida Sun Review, Fantasy and Flavors, my man, Mr. Alex Fleming. Alex is wearing baseball this evening. So good evening, sir.
Shout out to Brett Chauncey and the Locked On Astros. They're beaming. They're doing good work. Brett does his damn thing. That's why I'm wearing the Stros gear.
Okay. Thank you for that. And again, shout out to H-Town Wheelhouse, man. That brother does a lot of good. So I'm happy for his success. Next up, of course, Sideline Sports Network. This man drops knowledge before the major networks do. Mr. John Shear is in the building. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Alex, when did you get a Stros jersey? How long you had that? Did you just get that from Brett or?
Oh, hell no. This is like ancient, bro, when I was living in Texas.
Did you find that in the trash can?
Oh, we really? Starting off early tonight. Let me go ahead and get the last man in here. Believe in the Pac-12 podcast, and I'm sure he's got a lot to say. Mr. Michael Caratanudo, why? We're not doing that division tonight, Mike. There's no reason for you to have
Alex
that.
is representing Texas, so I want to represent Alex.
Look, Megan's representing Texas. She got her Spurs going on.
So the Spurs just got eliminated.
Oh, I didn't know that. Ooh.
Okay, we'll get to them in a minute. We'll get to them in a minute.
Made her sad.
I know. All right, we're going to take a moment of silence for the San Antonio Spurs being eliminated from the NBA playoffs. All right? Moment of silence.
I'm not going to cry.
All right, we're good. Let's keep it moving. So we are going to break down the NFC North. And my hope, which I'm hoping for a lot here, is that, again, if you watched Monday's conversation, you already know that this is going to be live and entertaining from start to finish. So, lady and gentlemen, let's start with the Detroit Lions, all right? They now have a new quarterback in Jared Goff coming over from the Rams. They've made some additions. They've lost some people. But I really feel like the Lions are going to be the Lions at the end of this season. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole downward of what their schedule is. Instead, you got to work smarter, not harder. I'm just going to simply share my screen with y'all so that everybody can, in fact, see what their schedule is right here. So y'all take a look. And as we look at this, I look at the teams that they're playing outside of their division. They are, in fact, playing everybody in the NFC West, which we have all said is the strongest division in the entire NFL. They are playing, let me see, Cleveland. Is Baltimore in there? Yeah, they're playing the AFC North.
They play North and the NFC West.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then they have their interleague games. So, Megan, let me start with you. When you look at this schedule as currently laid out, they have their bye week 8, so kind of right in the middle. But are the Lions, do they take a step forward and actually, make some noise in the NFL this season? What do you think?
I do think that they're going to have a few more games than when Matthew Stafford was there, just to kind of revamp things and have some better energy. But I don't see them doing extremely well. I'm going to say probably 6-11.
Oh, wow. 6-11. Okay. I mean, that's a fair assessment from that one. Ty, again.
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Lions, we know them to be basically at the bottom of the NFC North, and they are a sub-500 team. Matthew Stafford, as good as he proclaimed to be, was unable to get this team to a point where we were talking about them consistently in a positive manner. Now that Jared Goff is there, do you think he might be the spark to kind of turn this team around, or will it be more of the same old Detroit Lions?
I think it'll be more of the same old Detroit Lions. Good Jared Goff, welcome to the real NFL. The way I see it, man, let's see. Games they can win. I think they could possibly split games maybe in the division with Chicago and Minnesota. That Cincinnati game, maybe that's 3 wins. Man, I think 3-4 wins, man. I'm gonna go 4 and
4-13.
I think 4-13, man.
Okay, John Shear, Sideline Sports Network, sir.
Yeah, looking at their schedule, they have 8 winnable games, but this roster is so bad. They're at the beginning. They lost Kenny Golladay. We talked about how they added people. They lost Kenny Golladay, their best receiver. They lost their second best receiver, Marvin Jones. They added Penny Sewell, which is great, but Jared Goff is a game manager, and you're not going to have a game manager try and go and win you games. It just doesn't make any sense. DeAndre Swift was okay as a rookie last year. Defense wasn't great. The only positive was Okudah said the first day Dan Campbell and the new coaching staff got in there, felt a completely different vibe, which is great for the future. But these first 2 years, if Dan Campbell stays the first 2 years, it's going to be 3 wins at most. This roster is one of the worst in the NFL right now, and it'll be a lengthy rebuild. So I'm going to give them 3 wins, but that's being generous, only because they feed off maybe the Falcons, Bengals, and then a division win, and then that's about it. It's a really bad roster.
Okay. Mr. Fleming, talk to me about the Detroit Lions, sir.
Ew. They have the 6th hardest ranked schedule behind all of the predecessors in the NFC North. Downgrade at quarterback, like Mr. Ray mentioned, from Matthew Stafford to Jared Goff. They lost Marvin Jones. He's in Jacksonville. Kenny Golladay is in New York. Their number 1 receiver just came off of an ACL tear of the Oakland Raiders. Yes, Oakland, not Vegas, because he didn't play last year. He had an injury. Vegas let him go, so his last game was while he was Oakland, Tyrell Williams. Their number 2 is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, the brother of Equanimous St. Brown. I mean, this roster up and down is straight booty. The one thing that they can do effectively is run the football. And they have 6 running backs on their roster that are fresh or brand new. Obviously, DeAndre Swift is the man, but between Jefferson and Raheem Boyd, they should be able to run the football effectively. I got them beating Atlanta. I got them having a close one against the Bengals, and they'll probably beat Minnesota because they've been beating Minnesota, but I hate to do it, but I have to agree with Tyrus. 4 wins tops. This roster's just blah.
All right. Mike?
Wow. Well, first of all, Dan Campbell's absolutely crazy. So everything I said about Mike Vrabel the other day about his team playing well, the dude's going to have a pet lion that's going to take a dump by units that aren't practicing good. He said that earlier this week. He wants to get a pet lion and train it to, if a group is practicing terrible, to go over and take a dump, and they still have to practice in that area. Dan Campbell's crazy. Dan Campbell is absolutely crazy. What I do love is, obviously, Alex did mention Amon-Ra St. Brown. Penei Sewell is the guy that pretty much every draft expert, breakdown scout said this kid healthy is a Hall of Famer. So if he can become an all-pro, he will actually help protect Jared Goff and keep him upright, which he needs to be. The other 2 cats that I like, obviously the undersized defensive tackle that they got. This kid, I mean, he takes up space, he causes a little trouble, but he needs to get out blocks a little bit better. But Levi Onwuzurike, who out of Washington, so they definitely love their Conference of Champions players. Which, when you actually do watch, as we know from Justin Herbert, oh yeah, they can ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm with Alex. I think that's very interesting. He slipped down in the draft. But if you look, I mean, 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks. That's where everybody says they build depth. I'm actually going to go a little crazy on the Lions. I'm going to say a whole 7 wins. They're going to go 7-10.
Wow. Okay.
I'm telling you, Penei Sewell's going to maul
No,
people.
I
There's
do
going to be.
think Panay's going to help improve it, and I do think that I saw some things out of Jared Goff at the end of last season after he was hurt, and then came back into the game. That I just kind of saw some fighting spirit in him, and I mean he's going to need that in Detroit.
There's no doubt they'll be able to run the football. Adding Penei Sewell is going to make it easier for them to run the football. The problem is, look at the schedule and look at the roster. First, the schedule. AFC North, NFC North, NFC West. Like, you got to pick and choose. Who are they going to pick off? I mean, look at that schedule and tell me who's a gimme. Who is a gimme on that list?
Maybe Cincinnati, I think.
Yeah, Cincinnati possibly don't have anybody to block, and I don't believe in Pittsburgh, Alex. So I'm saying again, I know that's 5 short of 7 wins, but look, not to pick on Eric and the Eagles. I'm just saying we have to see what anybody from the NFC East is going to do. Fair enough, fine. We'll get to that later. But they can beat Atlanta. They can beat Denver. I mean, unless Aaron Rodgers is there, who's Denver's quarterback? Split with Minnesota. So I mean, again, they could be flirting with it, and again, with running the ball, it'll keep other offenses off the field.
But they're gimme games.
Say this, but maybe Philly. They might beat Philly.
I gave them Philly. That's one of the 4 wins I gave them.
I mean,
they're gimme.
I don't think Philly's going to be as bad as everybody thinks, though.
No, I don't.
They're gimme games. Gimme games are the road. I mean, you got Falcons and Broncos. That's on the road. It's not easy to play in Atlanta. That's a loud stadium. Denver is extremely challenging going to Mile High. That's its own challenge. And then the Bengals, you got to play Joe Burrow and you got to play Chase, even at home. That's not a cakewalk for the Lions, a team that's not very good.
Heck, you said Joe Burrow won't be there.
Probably their easiest game.
No, he did say Joe would be there. He said Joe would be there.
Yeah, Joe will be there week 1.
Joe's healthy.
I thought he said he was going to be hurt. My fault.
No, he just won't be upright because there's nobody to block for him because they don't have any offensive linemen to block for him.
According to Pro Football Focus, he's good to go for week 1. So
Got you.
Yep.
I'd rather believe the doctors than Pro Football Focus.
Well, there was a doctor from Pro Football Focus brought in, and he said he's good to go. So that's why I believe that.
Well, Joe's good. Joe's good to go. He'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much he throws.
Point. And we said this draft night, if you ain't got an offensive line to protect Joe Burrow, it don't matter that he has Chase there. I mean, you're going to be on your back. So let's see what happens. When I look at this team, I guess I'm kind of the guy meeting everybody in the middle because I'm looking at the wins. And when you're talking about the gimme games, and again, I'll pull it up one more time. The gimme games to me are, I agree, you'll split with Minnesota. You're going to beat Atlanta. You're going to beat Cincinnati. I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. And hell, I'll be the guy to say it. I don't know what Philly's going to look like. I have my opinion, but it's in Detroit. Anything is possible.
So, Eric, how are you so sure they're going to beat Atlanta, though?
That's in Atlanta. That's a hard place to play.
Actually, it's a hard place to play. But if what we saw, I did see the rumor today, unless it was confirmed, that Julio Jones is no longer going to be an Atlanta Falcon.
Atlanta's defense is Gerber baby food soft.
It is, but the offense is still decent, though. I mean,
the offense is. I mean, how do you stop Kyle Pitts and all them?
I agree, but Jared Goff, we've seen his durability, and we know what he's capable of. Now, he doesn't have a Robert Woods, a Cooper Kupp, and a Brandon Cooks, but he might be able to produce something with the receivers and the weapons that he has been given. Again, it's like we talked about on Monday night. We were talking about Philly. You got to play the hand that you're dealt. I'm saying they go 5-12. That is my record for, in fact, the Detroit Lions. So.
Hey, Eric, I think they could shock the world week 1, too, and beat the Niners. Just because, the Niners week 1, they're not too good anyway, so.
I'm looking at you funny, Mike. Even I'm looking at you funny.
I'm just messing with time.
I asked y'all before we came on if y'all took y'all medicine, so obviously y'all lied, man. Because there's no way you can say you took your medicine and say something crazy.
No, they're not beating the Niners.
Bosa's going to rip Jared Goff apart.